Good afternoon. Thanks for joining us. This exhibition is called Beyond Contemporary Native American Basketry. I'm Kathleen Ash Milby, and I'm the curator here at the American Indian Community House Gallery. And I co-curated this exhibition with Terrell Dew Johnson, who I'm introducing now. He is actually also a basket weaver and the founder and director of TOCA, which is a Tohono O'odham Basket Weavers Association in Arizona. So, our first speaker, Terrell, come on up.
Thank you, everybody. Well, first of all, I want to thank Kathleen for giving me the opportunity to help curate this show. As with any other, curating job that I've done, I'm always learning something new, and I've never really had the background. She did, so she did a lot of the hanging and measuring and adding and subtracting. So that's something new for me, and also working with Thomas as well, who's an intern here. It was fun, and the whole idea of the collaboration was really a collaboration because you got to learn different things and work with different people and actually ask them for their ideas and their input, which is very important. And I've always worked that way with anything that I did. Starting the Basket Weavers organization, working with TOCA, I've always enjoyed that collaboration, because if something goes wrong, you can blame the other person. So, but really, this was fun. And I'm going to be talking about the pieces that I brought to the show here. But I'll also be talking about the basket weavers that are in this show here because, with all the basket weavers that are in the show, I actually had the honor of working with them and knowing them over the years of my basket weaving career. So, and I'll definitely talk about them first because, they're also an inspiration to me as well. I was very blessed to have the opportunity to travel around very young. And when we were asking the weavers to partake in this gallery show, I threw out the one word and it was contemporary. And I was actually kind of really surprised at what we got after hearing that. Some weavers, for them, it was either weaving a certain way other than they normally would have, or them experimenting with a color or things like that. And to me, that was showing that, okay, we're so used in the contemporary world that, the traditional world, that when they heard the word contemporary, just them doing a different type of stitch or a different color to them was taking a big leap out of that traditional realm. So I was very surprised at what we got, but I was also very excited because they took that first step. They stepped out of their comfort zone, so that was really inspiring because I did that years ago with my work. A lot of times, when I first started weaving, a lot of traditional weavers would actually scold me and get mad at me and tell me, why are you doing this? Why are you not doing the way we taught you? And I'm like, well, I am. I'm just experimenting with different fibers and different textures and things like that. So, nowadays I do work with this here, the gourd pieces here. And it's actually a bronze cast of a gourd. And, a lot of weavers still look at those things and sort of, call me over and say, what do you do with that? How do you use that? And I'm like, well, you can just use it and look at it and get inspired or just really appreciate the form and the textures and what it wants you to get out of it, And so I usually end up explaining those kind of things to these weavers and they're like, well, okay, And so it's fun. It's fun for me. I like seeing or testing people's way of thinking and their take on my work. So it's always fun to kind of be a little mischievous or a little kind of, okay, what do you think of this? What do you think of that? So my work is definitely different from a lot of other people's, and it's definitely been a interesting journey from when I first started weaving to what I'm doing presently. So the vase over there is actually, the very end over there is I call it inlay gourd, where I actually got hold of an African bushel gourd and actually cut it up and wove it into a basket. And it kind of puzzles a lot of people, like, how did you do that? And I'm like, well, it's an ancient Chinese secret. But those things I like doing. Like I said, I like really having people think about, how was that done, or how, did I come up with those things, and I like that. I like doing that to people, and hopefully getting them more interested in basketry itself, because it covers a whole wide range of areas. I actually am director of the Basket Weavers organization in my tribe, in our organization, and we work with over 250 basket weavers from my tribe only. And, getting people interested in basketry. And right now in the art community, especially the Southwest area, art tends to move in trends. And I've never ever seen basketry being a hot commodity or a hot thing that people had to have. It was always taken the back, it was always put the end of line. Usually people want the latest jeweler's work or the latest potter's work or painter's work. And basket weaving, it being such an old, ancient, traditional art, always been put in the background. And so my job, and I vow to bring the basket weaving from my area to the forefront, because I think because it's so rich in the tradition, it's so rich in the nation's history that it should get its glory as well. Myself, with the help of other people, to sort of bring that attention to the baskets. So doing shows like this and having the opportunity to work with amazing people, but also showing in different venues like the gallery here, but also the National Museum of American Indian was a great honor, especially working with artists, weavers from around the country, and looking at the baskets that they remembered and hearing their elders remember doing and looking at. So that holds a lot to it. And with my organization, the basket weaving holds an entire culture. Basket weaving, her organization works on many different levels. You got the cultural, you got the language preservation, you got the songs, you got the materials, all that stuff. We're still teaching the young people, and some of the words you can't even translate into English. You only know the native word for it, which is very important. And with that, you start learning and interacting with elders who know traditional harvesting songs, know traditional legends and songs that go with basket designs, and working with the elders and encourage them to actually teach now is a reward in itself as well. And I actually have the opportunity to do that in our organization. Again, also too, I have the opportunity to travel around and meet other weavers from different nations. My organization, Tobo, actually hosts and coordinates an International Basket Weavers Conference in Phoenix. It's every December, the very first weekend in December, and we have weavers from all over the country and different countries attend. And this is a time when weavers get together and network. Also, they get a chance to exchange and talk shop. We also have weavers teach. We also provide, technical services for weavers. We have a professional photographer come and take really nice quality pictures of weavers and their work, so that when they go back, they can actually promote themselves with pictures and of themselves and of their work. We also realize that as a weaver, your physical body, your spiritual body, we provide therapists, we provide people to come and actually work on the weavers, spiritually and physically. We also, at one night, we have a banquet where weavers actually get to sit down and enjoy a very nice meal. And this is something that we really focus on as well, because most of the time the weavers are either cooking for their families, running around, doing these sort of things, and at this night is the night where they can actually sit down and not worry about washing dishes later or cleaning up after, 100 or 300 people. So, this is a time when we show our appreciation to them, and we have a mixture of elder weavers and young people, and so, and this is really rewarding to me, after, growing up, as a weaver, traditionally men don't weave in my tribe. But at the time when I started learning, a lot of elders were afraid that this was going to die. So whenever I found a teacher that was willing to sit down with me and share their knowledge and pass down their knowledge, they've always told me, pass it on to the next person. Teach it, don't keep it to yourself. And, I've been doing it ever since, and it's really rewarding, and I definitely enjoy what I do, and, it's fun, but it's also hard, painful work as well. There's a lot of pain, there's a lot of sadness, and, with our elders, they're passing on pretty much, one after another. And with those, each time of those passing, we're losing knowledge. We're losing a particular style, we're losing a specific legend, and it's really painful because, you didn't have that chance yet to talk to that person and absorb and learn what they had, or how to pick or prepare different materials. So, in a sense, it's like that, and also, just the way weavers in my area are being treated. Our weaving is done right now primarily for tourism. In our area, our weavers made baskets to sell so they can serve their families. In other areas, like I think in California, a lot of the weavers are just weaving to keep that alive because it got to the point where it was almost gone. So right now, our tribe is actually just weaving baskets for tourism, and they've been for several years, for many, many, many years. I think Teresa's area is the same way, so I think that's why we kind of have similar stories to tell and similar challenges that we have to face. So this opportunity to talk and network and share is really encouraging, because sometimes you feel as a weaver you're isolated from everything, and you don't have the opportunity to go out and interact with other weavers, and it's nice to know that, once or twice a year you can all get together and talk and network and encourage each other. Teresa right now had told me yesterday that, grants is something that's really important to nonprofits, and it's ending soon, and for us, we're in the same situation. We actually have to look at how we were structuring our organization, and we're treading new water, and it's really scary. But yet again, we actually have really no choice right now. So we're going on, and I think I myself personally don't think that I have to worry about the art in my area dying right now. So it's kind of comforting. So. All right, thank you. This is my talk, and I would love to introduce Teresa.
Thank you, I'm a member of the Penobscot Nation from Maine. There are about 6,000 tribal people in Maine from four tribes federally recognized: the Penobscot Nation, Passamaquoddy tribe, Holton Band of Maliseets, and Aroostook Band of Micmacs. And at one time, we were really, particularly Penobscot and Passamaquoddy, really well known for our basketry, really going back about 200 years. And that there are literally dozens of postcards from my reservation alone in Maine showing people making and selling baskets. And in fact, I'm lucky enough to have some of those in my own collection with family members. My great-grandmother was a really renowned basket maker, and all of the material in these baskets is made of one wood, and it's called brown ash. Here in New York, it's called black ash, and the people at Akwesasne, the Mohawk people, also make this stuff. And so, for whatever reason, we call it brown ash. The Indian word is wickabee. And at one time, when we first formed our alliance in Maine 10 years ago, we started up something called the Brown Ash Task Force, and began working with the Forest Service, the University of Maine, and the Maine Forest Service, as well as the U.S. Forest Service. And it was a really interesting thing in that we brought tribal members in to work with foresters, and we went out on field trips to, examine the tree. The tree has to be taken and hand-pounded with the blunt end of an axe. A picture going into the kind of deep Maine woods, really year-round, but sometimes on snowshoes, it's easier because it grows kind of in swampy, rivery areas. And so a lot of times the basket makers will wait till winter to harvest it. And sometimes having to look as long as a week. As I was saying yesterday, the whole process is really a community affair in that by the time the basket has reached this finished state, as many as 4 or 5 people have really indirectly worked on this. Men have gone and harvested the tree. Maybe a son in the family will hand pound that tree. And so the tree is laid horizontally after it's debarked, and ashes from the stove are painted with water onto the stove so they can see where the axe head has hit. And it really takes an entire morning to release those growth rings away from the tree. And so the splints do come off by the growth ring, and then we have a series of really ancient tools, getting back to the mold I was telling you about, but these ancient tools that help us to split the ash and use knives to further scrape it. And it's really quite a process to get ash to the point, from a tree in the woods to, this highly finished ash here that's almost see-through by the time we've split it and scraped it. And then we even have these little wooden-handled tools that have, today they use X-Acto blades, but in the old days, they're kind of a wrist-held tool. And they allow us to cut the ash into these little narrow, almost thread-like pieces. And so again, this is wood that we're sewing with. It's not grass. The grass is the greener parts. Those gauges are also all handmade by other people in the tribe. Set in those gauges are watch spring or clock spring, which is even harder to find today, because most watches and clocks are digital and quartz movement. So there is a lot to it. The block that I made this basket on is in 5 parts. So the center pulls out when it's finished and the sides collapse, and so it's kind of tied together with string. It dates back to about 1865. And so my great-grandmother had it even then. In fact, our reservation is a small island in the Penobscot River north of Bangor, Maine. And a lot of the old postcards have the first destination by canoe or ferry that you could see the very biggest sign at the landing said baskets. And so like Tails Group, we were into making our own way, I can remember also, I worked for as a geologist for my tribe for about 14 years. And I remember doing a research on a mapping survey, and the surveyor for the state of Maine in 1820 had to go to Indian Island first to get the packed baskets to carry his gear, and most importantly to get a canoe made so he could travel up into our watershed and map our state, because we became a state in 1820. And so I think this quote is on the wall. I saw it yesterday at NMAI. I was surprised that I'd forgotten I'd said it, but to us, even a big birch bark canoe is really a basket. It's sewn together with spruce roots, and so really using the forest and its resources to as you can see, the highest end extent. So I kind of cheated in a way. Gerald said, remember this is contemporary. This is a 100-year-old style at least, that my great-grandmother made. But then she was contemporary when she developed it. And so, I really want to honor that. These, of course, as you can see, are really the contemporary kind of fanciful creation. It is a basket, and it does open, and it's all woven wood.
Is it dry?
It is damp or green when it first comes off the tree. If you count it, it will be green, but we do dampen it. But again, it's kind of like the silk of the basket wood. It's this, it's kind of my favorite thing of thinking about ash wood, as opposed to oak that the Cherokees use, or some of the other traditional woods that people use. I think we're lucky in that it's so pliable. Back to the story too about the ash. At one time the foresters were suggesting, well, you could use oak, like the Cherokees, and of course, we know that that's really not the thing. And really, the ash in our tradition is literally deeply rooted in our culture. Our creation stories are based on our culture here his name was Muscave, shooting an arrow into the ash tree, and then from this tree came our people singing and dancing. And so we couldn't really, recreate that with the oak in any way.
Shemasana shetaya je bethin shnani viyana hene Nejane godot khaliyana hene Eshe beneye ko so telzen hawan Nejane godot viyana hene noan Deko so telzen hawan Nejane godot viyana hene noan Deko so telzen hawan Nejane godot viyana hene noan Deko so telzen hawan Nejane godot viyana hene noan Deko so telzen hawan Nejane godot viyana hene noan Deko so telzen hawan Nejane godot viyana hene noan Deko so telzen hawan Nejane godot viyana hene noan Deko so telzen hawan Nejane godot viyana hene noan Deko so telzen hawan Nejane godot viyana hene noan So telzen hawan beyeko So telzen sen Nejane godot viyana hene noan Shemasana shetaya je bethin shnani viyana hene Nejane godot khaliyana hene Eshe beneye ko so telzen hawan Nejane godot viyana hene noan Deko so telzen hawan Nejane godot viyana hene noan Deko so telzen hawan Nejane godot viyana hene noan Deko so telzen hawan Nejane godot viyana hene noan Deko so telzen hawan Nejane godot viyana hene noan The light of my life is so beautiful. She's so beautiful to me, just like a butterfly. Each and every other day, she wears a different color, a different color. Oh, she's so amazing, she has an amazing smile. It reminds me of the sunshine and the rainfall. Oh, you can't miss it. Oh, yana he yana wene. Oh, yana he yana hene hene we yana hene. Oh, yana he yana hene we yana hene no one. Every time when we're together, I think of the butterfly, play with the hummingbird. oh yana hey yana wene, oh yana hey yana hene, hene we yana wene, oh yana hey yana wene we yana hene no one. Oh, I appreciate all that you do, all the sacrifice you make. It means so much to me, I wouldn't know what I would do. Oh, oh, my baby, baby girl. Oh, yana hey yana wene, oh yana hey yana hene, hene we yana hene. Oh, yana hey yana hene we yana hene no one. The light of my life is so beautiful. She's so beautiful to me, just like a butterfly. Each and every other day, she wears a different color, a different color. Oh, she's so amazing, she has an amazing smile. It reminds me of the sunshine and the rainfall. Oh, you can't miss it. Oh, yana hey yana wene, oh yana hey yana hene, hene we yana hene. Oh, yana hey yana hene we yana hene no one. Every time when we're together, I think of the butterfly playing with the hummingbird. Oh, yana hey yana wene, oh yana hey yana hene, hene we yana hene. Oh, yana hey yana hene we yana hene no one. Oh, I appreciate all that you do, all the sacrifice you make. It means so much to me, I wouldn't know what I would do. Oh, oh, my baby, baby girl. Oh, yana hey yana hene, oh yana hey yana hene, hene we yana hene. Oh, yana hey yana hene we yana hene no one. I love you, baby. Deho we hey yana hene, deho we hey yana hene, deho we hey yana hene, yana hene no one. Deho we hey yana hene, deho we hey yana hene, deho we hey yana hene, yana hene no one. To my world, to the light of my life, you make me feel like I can do anything and everything for you. I wish you can see what kind of man I can be with you in my life. Deho we hey yana hene, deho we hey yana hene, deho we hey yana hene, yana hene no one. Deho we hey yana hene, deho we hey yana hene, deho we hey yana hene, yana hene no one. Deho we hey yana hene, deho we hey yana hene, deho we hey yana hene, yana hene no one. To my world, to the light of my life, you make me feel like I can do anything and everything for you. I wish you can see what kind of man I can be with you in my life. Deho we hey yana hene, deho we hey yana hene, deho we hey yana hene, yana hene no one. Deho we hey yana hene, deho we hey yana hene, deho we hey yana hene, yana hene no one. Jesus, sotasin o joko yeke shalko, yeke shalko, yeke shalko yana hene no one. 가다대나 기막하고 이케이 샬고 이케이 샬고 위하나 해내요wen Jesus 소드신 베헤스트 콜레게 내전에가 이케이 샬고 위하나 해내 이케이 샬고 위하나 해내 Jesus 소드신 호쇼고 이케이 샬 호쇼고 이케이 샬고 위하나 해내요wen Jesus 소드신 호쇼고 이케이 샬고 이케이 샬고 이케이 샬고 위하나 해내 가다대넷 기막하고 이케이 샬고 이케이 샬고 위하나 해내요wen Jesus 소드신 베스트 콜레게 내전에가 이케이 샬고 위하나 해내 이케이 샬고 위하나 해내 Jesus 소드신 호쇼고 이케이 샬 호쇼고 이케이 샬고 위하나 해내요wen The light of my life is so beautiful. She's so beautiful to me, just like a butterfly. Each and every other day, she wears a different color, a different color. Oh, she's so amazing, she has an amazing smile. It reminds me of the sunshine and the rainfall. Oh, you can't miss it. Oh, yana hey yana wene. Oh, yana hey yana hene hene we yana hene. Oh, yana hey yana hene we yana hene no one. Every time when we're together, I think of the butterfly, play with the hummingbird. Oh, yana hey yana wene. Oh, yana hey yana hene hene we yana hene. Oh, yana hey yana hene we yana hene no one. Oh, I appreciate all that you do, all the sacrifice you make. It means so much to me, I wouldn't know what I would do. Oh, oh, my baby, baby girl. Oh, yana hey yana wene. Oh, yana hey yana hene hene we yana hene. Oh, yana hey yana hene we yana hene no one. The light of my life is so beautiful. She's so beautiful to me, just like a butterfly. Each and every other day, she wears a different color, a different color. Oh, she's so amazing, she has an amazing smile. It reminds me of the sunshine and the rainfall. Oh, you can't miss it. Oh, yana hey yana hene. Oh, yana hey yana hene hene we yana hene. Oh, yana hey yana hene we yana hene no one. Every time when we're together, I think of the butterfly, playing with the hummingbird. Oh, yana hey yana wene. Oh, yana hey yana hene hene we yana hene. Oh, yana hey yana hene we yana hene no one. Oh, I appreciate all that you do, all the sacrifice you make. It means so much to me, I wouldn't know what I would do. Oh, oh, my baby, baby girl. Oh, yana hey yana hene. Oh, yana hey yana hene hene we yana hene. Oh, yana hey yana hene we yana hene no one. I love you, baby. Yo no, yo no, yo no, yo no, yo no, we yana yo no. Yo no, we yana hene yo one. Yo no, yo no, yo no, yo we know we are no, yo we know. Yo we know we are no, hey, yo when. Yo we know, yo we know, yo we know, yo we know, yo we know we are no, yo we know. Yo we know we are no, hey, yo when. Yejoneko yos kasko, hojo pili kato we are no, hey, nay. Yo we know we are no, hey, nay. May we walk in beauty as the days go by, we are no, hey, nay. Yo we know, 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 we are no, yo we know. Yo we know, we are no, hey, nay, yo when. Yo we know, 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 we are no, yo we know. Yo we know, we are no, hey, nay, yo when. Yo we know, 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 we are no, yo we know. Yo we know, we are no, hey, nay, yo when. Yo we know, 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 we are no, yo we know. Yo we know, we are no, hey, nay, yo when. Yo we know, 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 we are no, yo we know. Yo we know, we are no, hey, nay, yo when. Yo we know, 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 we are no, yo we know. Yo we know, we are no, hey, nay, yo when. Yejoneko yos kasko, hojo pili kato we are no, hey, nay. Yo we know, we are no, hey, nay. May we walk in beauty as the days go by, we are no, hey, nay.